Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, I've got a special treat for you, a heartwarming and funny love story that's perfect for a cozy night, and whether you're curled up with a cup of tea or just need a little pick-me-up, this story is for you. It's about two people who find love in the most unexpected way, with plenty of laughs and sweet moments along the way. So, grab a blanket, get comfortable, and let's dive into this romantic adventure. It was one of those days when the sky couldn't decide what to do. One minute, the sun was shining, and the next rain was pouring down. Clara, a young artist with a habit of forgetting her umbrella, was running through the streets of Willowbrook, trying to get to her art class on time. Her sketchbook was tucked under her arm, and her curly hair was already soaked. As she turned a corner, her foot slipped on a wet patch of leaves. She let out a yelp and tumbled forward, her sketchbook flying out of her hands. But instead of hitting the ground, she crashed into someone tall, handsome stranger with messy brown hair and bright green eyes. "Whoa there," the man said, catching her with strong arms. "You know most people walk in the rain. They don't try to swim in it." Clara blinked, her cheeks turning red. "I was in a hurry," she muttered, brushing herself off. "And I'm not swimming, I'm gracefully embracing the elements." The man laughed, a warm, inviting sound that made Clara's stomach do a little flip. He picked up her sketchbook, which had fallen open to a page filled with doodles of cats wearing top hats. "You're an artist?" he asked. "Aspiring," Clara said, snatching the sketchbook back. "And you are?" "Ethan," he said, extending a hand. "Professional umbrella borrower, an occasional rescuer of clumsy artists." Clara couldn't help but laugh. "Well, Ethan, thank you for your heroic efforts, but I really have to go. I'm late for class. Mind if I walk with you?" he asked, falling into step beside her. "I'm heading that way anyway." And so they walked together, trading jokes and stories as the rain continued to fall. By the time they reached the community center, Clara had learned that Ethan was new in town, worked at the local bookstore, and had a weakness for terrible puns. What do you call a fake noodle? An impasta. She also discovered that his laugh was contagious and that she didn't mind the rain so much when he was around. A few days later, Clara was at her favorite cafe, sipping on a latte and sketching in her notebook. She was so engrossed in her drawing that she didn't notice Ethan walking up behind her until it was too late. "Hey, Clara," he said, tapping her on the shoulder. Startled, Clara jerked her arm, sending her coffee flying. It landed right on Ethan's shirt, leaving a dark brown stain. "Oh no, I'm so sorry," Clara exclaimed, grabbing a napkin and dabbing at the stain. Ethan laughed, holding up his hands. "It's okay," he said, grinning. "I needed a new look anyway." Clara couldn't help but laugh too. "You're too nice," she said. "Most people would be mad." "Nah," Ethan said, sitting down across from her. "Life's too short to get upset over spilled coffee. Besides, it gives me an excuse to hang out with you." Clara felt her cheeks heat up. "Well, in that case, maybe I should spill coffee on you more often." "Deal," Ethan said, his eyes twinkling. "But next time, let's make it a caramel macchiato. I'm more of a sweet coffee guy." A week later, Clara was at home, working on a new painting, when she heard a knock at her door. She opened it to find Ethan standing there, looking sheepish. "Hey, Clara," he said, rubbing the back of his neck. "So, I kind of locked myself out of my apartment. Do you happen to have a ladder I could borrow?" Clara raised an eyebrow. "A ladder? What do you need a ladder for?" "Well," Ethan said, grinning, "my window's open, and I thought I could climb in, like a burglar, but a friendly one. Clara laughed. You're ridiculous, she said, shaking her head. But sure, I've got a ladder. Just promise me you won't fall and break anything. I promise. Clara fetched the ladder from her garage and followed Ethan to his apartment. As he climbed up to his window, she couldn't help but laugh at the sight of him wobbling precariously on the rungs. She called up to him. If you fall, I'm not catching you. Don't worry, Ethan said, grinning down at her. I've got this. A few moments later, he disappeared through the window, and Clara heard the sound of his front door unlocking. He emerged a moment later, looking triumphant. See, he said, holding up his keys. I told you I could do it. Clara shook her head, still laughing. You're something else, Ethan. Yeah, he said, grinning. But you like me anyway. And Clara realized with a start that he was right. She did like him a lot. The town's annual harvest festival was in full swing, and Clara and Ethan were in the middle of it all. The festival was a lively affair, with music, dancing, and a peating contest that Ethan had insisted on entering. I have a gift, he declared, rolling up his sleeves. And that gift is eating pie at an alarming speed. Clara laughed, shaking her head. You're ridiculous, she said, but I'll be cheering you on. As the contest began, Clara watched with a mix of amusement and admiration as Ethan devoured slice after slice of pie. His face was soon smeared with whipped cream, but he didn't seem to care. He was focused, determined, and Clara had to admit, kind of adorable. When the contest ended, Ethan emerged victorious, holding the trophy, a giant golden fork above his head. The crowd cheered, and Clara couldn't help but run up and hug him. You're ridiculous, she said, laughing. And you're amazing, he replied, his voice soft. For a moment, they just stood there, the world around them fading away. Then, with a grin, he added, Also, I think I ate too much pie. Help. Clara laughed, but as they walked through the festival together, hand in hand, she knew this was more than just a silly crush. Ethan had become her favorite part of every day. The person who made her laugh, who made her feel seen, who made her believe in the magic of unexpected moments. As the festival wound down, Clara and Ethan found themselves sitting on a bench, watching the stars come out. The air was cool, and the sound of laughter and music filled the night. Ethan said, breaking the silence, I think I've found my favorite place in Willowbrook. Oh, Clara asked, tilting her head. Where's that? Right here, he said, pulling her close. With you? Clara felt her heart skip a beat. She looked up at him, her eyes searching his. Ethan. I know we haven't known each other long, he said, his voice soft but steady. But I feel like I've been waiting for you my whole life. You make me laugh, you make me happy, and I can't imagine my life without you. Clara felt tears prick at the corners of her eyes. Ethan, But before she could finish, he leaned in and kissed her. It was a soft, sweet kiss, filled with all the promise of a new beginning. And as they pulled away, Clara knew that this was just the start of their story, a story filled with laughter, love, and maybe just a little bit of rain. And that's the story of Clara and Ethan, to people who found love in the most unexpected way. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed writing it. If you did, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more heartwarming stories like this one. And if you have any ideas for future stories, let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, stay cozy, stay happy, and keep believing in love. Bye for now.